Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. Well, Bob, the sun still rose this morning.
Yeah, disappointing, but like I said, I listened to Kevin Butler and Jeff Dandler on the post-game show after the ball game. They talked about how this team all year long got off to slow starts. I think they said 8 out of 12 games they scored 7 or less points in the first half. Just offensive line was an issue. Receivers led the league in drops. I mean,
that's what I read this morning on some site that said the fact that the receivers, the Georgia receivers, like they have all year long, have lost. They need to get some more stickier gloves or something like that. And talked about the left side of that line of Georgia is just not lived up to what it should be doing to give the quarterbacks the time they need.
Can't let them run the second half kickoff back. The play right before halftime, like I said, they asked Kirby about that. His aggressive, 6'3", second half team all year long, just go to the locker room and just, run. But they decided to try to run a pass play, and I said the offensive lineman got whipped, and they hit Gunnar Stockton, fumbled the ball. They score a touchdown. They go up 10-3 instead of, 13-3 instead of 6-3. So then they run the second half kickoff back, and it was just an uphill battle from that. So disappointing, but like I said,
they couldn't get it to the end zone. I didn't see it. So
what's that?
He didn't get it to the. Usually these kickers these days are so good they get them out through the end zone.
It was a 98-yard touchdown run.
I know that, but I'm talking about usually it goes to the end zone, so you have to put it out the 25.
He was able to run it back. Right. So like I said, just a frustrating
mistakes,
day, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
They got a good quarterback though. Gunnar Stockton played well, I thought. Threw the ball well. So they're set a quarterback. They just got to go find some receivers who can catch the ball.
Or get
some offensive linemen.
In the Big Ten saying, we got SEC's number. I mean, here it is. You got 3 teams from the Big Ten in the Final Four, along with one SEC team, our newbie to our conference, Texas, in the Final Four.
Yeah. Notre Dame's not in the Big Ten. Notre Dame's independent. They got their own.
Yeah, well, I think of them as Big Ten because they're from all the teams up in that area. They play all their sports for the ACC and then play football independent, don't they? Or do they play?
They're their own entity in football.
They're on their own entity in football. Yeah. But I think of them as Big Ten because they play against, those teams up there in that area, Penn State and Ohio State and Michigan, all that kind of up there in the Midwest area.
I don't know why they don't join a conference, but I say that hats off to them. So they
first time they beat us. I mean, we beat them 4 times in a row, and now they get their turn.
Georgia, just like I said, got to get in that transfer portal, find some receivers who can catch the ball.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. They led the entire SEC in drops. I mean, it's hard to believe. So
you put the ball right on it, and Carson and Gunner's got to be frustrated. I put the ball there. Why didn't you catch it? Go get some of those NFL gloves.
But the fact that we can't run the ball either. I mean, 15 out of 16 teams.
Pathetic.
I mean, Georgia's always been tailback for years, but we just couldn't run the ball all year long. So they got some issues to address. I'm sure they'll address them. But,
well, 11-3 this year.
SEC champions,
SEC champs.
What it tells me is just a heck of a coaching job by Kirby Smart. I mean, to get his team in that position with all those deficiencies, offensive line.
I know. We went 11-3 this year. That's pretty good. Won the SEC. Got that big trophy to put in our trophy case. But we just couldn't get past this round in playoffs. A couple of my friends were talking about, we were on borrowed time. I said we should have lost the Florida game. If the Florida quarterback didn't get hurt, we'd probably lose that ball game. Tech should have beat us. I mean, same, and that's the same issue too. I don't understand why Georgia's defense coordinators don't understand those running quarterbacks. Why we can't stop the quarterback draw? I mean, we couldn't stop it against Georgia Tech. Couldn't stop it yesterday against Notre Dame. I mean, it's a quarterback draw. You put one guy on him to follow him no matter where he goes. You put a spy on that quarterback. When he starts to run, you knock the crap out of him. Yep. But we can't do it for some reason. All year long, we just let the quarterback run up the middle for 10, 15 yards. So frustrating. All right. So when do these 4 teams play next? Next Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday. The games are Thursday and Friday. Like I said, they're not going to compete with the NFL
weekend wild card, which is set for this coming week or next weekend. This is the final regular season in the NFL. Next weekend's wild card weekend, so they're going to play those playoff games on Thursday night and Friday night.
Okay, now
Penn State,
this is the last week of NFL football, isn't
right?
it?
And next weekend,
this weekend,
next weekend's wild card weekend.
Wild card weekend.
They're not going. That's why
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
That's why the college football is going to be Thursday and Friday. They're
Makes
not gonna,
sense.
They're not going to compete with the NFL.
Makes sense.
So
and
Thursday
where are the games
night,
being played?
The Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl. Those are the two semifinal games.
Okay, so Texas and Ohio State will be in Cotton Bowl.
Right, which is pretty much a home game for Texas, but Ohio State's running on all cylinders. They're on a mission. And then the Orange Bowl will be Penn State and Notre Dame.
You got some favorites you like in those two games?
I say, watching Ohio State, I mean, I don't know how Texas can, I'm pulling for Texas because they're SEC, but, I mean, if I had to pick the winner, right now I don't think anybody's going to beat Ohio State the way they're playing.
Okay, and of course, now that Georgia's out, you've got to pull for Notre Dame, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Irish against Penn State. So.
Okay.
I say Notre Dame's my second best. But
that's your second team.
Second best team.
Being from that area up there and being Catholic.
Yeah, but I said I don't want them to beat Georgia.
No, of course not. Hated that. And we just, you're right. You and your friends were right. We have lived on borrowed time all year long, and with all the the problems that we've had, we still have an 11-3 season. We won the SEC, beat Texas twice. And, for a lot of teams, they would love that. For Georgia, it's a little down. But
and we joked all year, why can't we play in the first half? Why do we have to wait the second half to wake up? But, I mean, that's the issue all year long. We just can't. It's been a slow start every first half of a football game, which is just perplexing, something they have to address in the offseason.
Okay.
And hopefully the Falcons can find a way to get in the playoffs, but they need – I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't see Tampa Bay losing to New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans may be on a mission because of the tragedy there, but still, you're talking about talent, and I think just Tampa right now is peaking at the right time, and New Orleans, they have no reason to win. If you lose, you get a better draft pick, and then I would think Atlanta should be able to beat Carolina.
Yeah.
But Carolina's a little bit better in the last several games than they have been the first part of the season.
And they just that overtime rule has to be changed in the NFL. The fact that you don't get the ball if the other team scores, that's kind of I don't like.
Well, no, they changed that. Remember, it used to be you get a field goal and you win. They said, all right, now we're going to change it to a touchdown. Whoever scores the first touchdown, if you score a touchdown when you first get the ball, you win. So. They changed that because of the field goal situation years ago. Remember, people get whoever gets the flip's going to get that field goal and win. So they said, all right, it's going to be, if you score a touchdown, you win. But if not, if you only get a field goal, then the other team gets the ball.
The NFL's got to change the overtime rule where both teams get the ball like the colleges do. I mean, in college you get a chance. In the NFL, if you lose a coin flip and they go down the field and score a touchdown, your offense never gets on the field. So they have to change that rule.
I don't know if they'll ever change that, Bob, because of time restraints.
What do you mean time restraints?
Look how long some of these college games have gone.
They should get the ball. It's just not right not to get the ball at all. At least in college you get a chance.
You get a chance in college. That's right. You get that chance.
You get to match it. But in the NFL, like I said, if the quarterback takes it.
Now, in the NFL, it's like a regular kickoff, where in college, what do you start at the 20? Is it 20, 25, somewhere along there? Where you start off at each time?
Right.
So it's the whole is totally different. But the NFL saying, well, we changed it some, which was the smartest thing for them to do, because it seemed like every time you won a coin toss, anybody could get a field goal with today's kickers. So they said, all right, that's got to be a touchdown now.
I still remember the playoff game when Patrick Mahomes and Buffalo, same thing. Buffalo never got a chance. Kansas City got the ball. Patrick Mahomes took it down and scored a touchdown, game over. Buffalo sat there and never got a chance.
That was Buffalo's fault for not stopping them, Bob, and making them get a field goal.
I understand that, but I just think they need to give the team at least a chance to tie the game. So maybe they'll change it, but I just don't think it's a fair rule. Like I said, the Falcons, I just, as good as Michael Penix played in that game against the Commanders, it was sad to see him sit over the sidelines and watch Jaden Daniels take the ball down the field and score and win the ball game. Now the Falcons are in a bad spot because like I said, they need help by the New Orleans Saints to beat Tampa, but I don't see that happening.
No, it didn't. You never can tell, Bob. You never can tell what's going to happen.
Got my fingers crossed, but like I said, I don't see it happening. Like I said, my Steelers need to win Saturday. They're going to go into the playoffs with a 4-game losing streak, so they've fallen apart. So
now, if they win,
they win.
they got to wait for some other people to lose or something like that.
Baltimore's got to lose, and Pittsburgh's got to win for the Pittsburgh Steelers to win the division. So I don't think that's happening. So the Ravens play first on Saturday. So if the Ravens win, I look for Tomlin to rest some of his starters and get T.J. Watt and all those guys on the sidelines and not risk injury. So, but if the Ravens lose to the Browns, Pittsburgh wins against Cincinnati, they win the division and have a home playoff game. But unfortunately, I don't see that happening. So,
yeah,
they're going to beat the
Ravens
playoffs.
are playing real good right now.
Steelers are in the playoffs, but like I said, they could easily lose to Cincinnati's Joe Burrow and go win the playoffs 4-game losing streak. So,
what's happened to Pittsburgh the last 4 or 5 games?
just not playing very well.
I mean, they have major injuries, or they?
No, the defense is just falling apart. They can't stop a nosebleed. So they said they got a lot of miscommunication. They're pointing fingers at each other. They're pointing to one player, saying he's the problem, but
Take them out.
that's what they need to do.
Take them out.
They can't score a lot of points either. So their offense is, and I said Arthur Smith is the worst offense coordinator in America. I just don't understand why they got him. He wasn't any good as the Falcons head coach. He's not any good as the Steelers offense coordinator. How he has a job in the NFL, I have no idea. But I'd fire him tomorrow.
All right, well, just get a hold of the general manager there, Steelers, and tell him.
Believe me, the letters have already been sent.
I bet so.
Fire that guy.
They probably say, someone sent a letter. It's not an email, it's a letter. There's a lot of Pittsburgh Steeler fans out there. Leanne's boyfriend is a big Steeler fan. His mom, and just you see him around. Y'all don't do nothing else on game day except for watch. Nothing gets in your way of watching a Pittsburgh Steeler game. I mean, no matter what it is, you're watching that game if you're a Steeler fan.
We're diehards.
I mean, die hard. I mean, jeez.
We bleed black and gold. Got to believe. Like I said, they're going to be in the playoffs, but I don't give them much of a chance if they lose Saturday. It's going to be hard to turn around a 4-game losing streak and get in the playoffs. But good thing about the playoffs, everybody starts 0-0, so I'm keeping the faith.
Look what Leanne's got on. Brian has made her a Steeler fan. All right. But I was listening to our morning guide that comes on from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., Charlie Derrick. He's a big Steeler fan, and he was talking about this morning. His wife wanted him to go somewhere. He said, remember, I told you Steelers play whatever day that was.
Yeah, they play Saturday.
Saturday. He said, I ain't going. And she's, oh, yeah, that's right. They've been married long enough for so many years. She knows that she don't plan any. He's going to be there watching the Steelers no matter what. No matter what. The dam could have broke. The woods could be on fire. It could be everything else. Y'all still going to watch your game. All right, and so all that's going on right there. So when did you say the basketball teams are playing Wayne County High School?
They play today and tomorrow. They play today in Savannah against Benedictine and St. Vincent's, and they play tomorrow in Pierce County. Next home game's January 10th, host New Hampstead. So they're not home till the 10th.
Okay. Sounds good. And anything else going on? You got the 2 meetings next week. You got, the city council?
Yeah, haven't seen the city agenda. I think the school board meets as well. Haven't seen their agenda, so hopefully we'll get those today.
Okay, so all those are meeting next week. The city, Jesup City Council, the Wayne County Council, and then the Board of Education.
All right. County meets Monday, and school board and city meet Tuesday, but I haven't seen those agendas yet. So.
All right. Well, Bob, have a good day.
Okay.
All right. The world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup has been brought to you by the Service Department at GNS Auto Sales. Also brought to you by First Southern Bank, Murphy's Builder Supply, and O.C. Welch Ford in Hardyville.